Hi everyone, today it's Monday and we are going to be looking at another type of poem. This one is called an autobiography poem. This week in literacy, we're going to continue to study poetry and we will begin to focus more closely on observing words and phrases within a poem that convey emotion or feelings. Just like last week, we learned about different types of poems. This week, we'll continue to do that. You may be wondering, what is an autobiography poem? Well, in literacy, an autobiography is broken down like so. Auto, which means self, bio means life, and graph means printed or written. Therefore, an autobiography is an account of a person's life written down. You may have heard of a biography. This is similar, as it is also an account of a person's life. However, instead of being written by the person the story is about, a biography is written by another person. Now that we know what a biography is, we are ready to look for some different types of autobiographical poems. So here you have an example. You have the layout, which Miss Kemp will go over with you in the next lesson. And then you also have an example of it. So the layout consists of 11 lines, starting with your first and ending with the last name of the person, which is going to be you. And then it's going to give different information, different bits of information. So adjectives, words to describe the person, different things that the person loves, what makes them feel happy, and so on. So let's look at some examples of this. Now, as we mentioned earlier, our focus for this week is to identify words and phrases and stories that suggest feelings or appeal to the senses. So here we have some emojis to remind us of what are those different feelings that we might be feeling. And during an autobiographical, I cannot say that word, autobiographical poem, we will notice there are going to be lots of feelings as we are talking about ourselves and our own emotions. So it is poetry that deals with emotions just as music. An autobiographical poem is personal. It reveals something about the person writing the poem. It is also called a bio poem, and it does not have to rhyme. The basic layout starts with the first name, then 4 descriptive traits, who you are the son or daughter of, what you love, you're a lover of what, a person who feels, what are 3 things you feel, 3 things that you need, 3 things you give, 3 fears you have, and who you would like to see. A resident of, and here the word resident is meaning where you live or where you're from. And then lastly, your last name. So if we look at an example of this, we have Jane, happy, nice, friendly, kind. Daughter of Sarah and Mike, lover of my parents, dog and reading, who feels summer is too short, school's great, and bedtime comes too early, who fears being bitten by a snake, being thrown off a horse, or getting an F on a test. Who would like to see Hawaii, the pyramids, and Disneyland? Resident of Burnsway, Stockton, California, USA, Smith. So there we have Jane Smith. And you notice that there is a lot of different variations of emotion in this one. You have the happier things, feeling that of summer, loving your parents, to loving your dog, and things that are enjoyable. But then also you have your fears. So we've got quite a variation of emotions on that one. So again, remember, as you are going through your autobiographical poems this week, think about it. What words represent feelings or emotions within this poem? And let's look one more time and listen for those words that represent those feelings. So again, lover of something. What are things that you take pleasure in that make you happy? Feels summer is too short. That's probably more of a feeling that we're thinking of as, a little maybe melancholy and sad whenever we realize that summer is over. School's great. So that feeling would be a very enlightened one and happy feeling. Bedtime comes too early again. That feeling of melancholy as in, oh, another day come to an end. And of course, fears invoke feelings of sadness or fear and scared. And then what you would like to see, that kind of invokes more of those hopeful and excited feelings. All right, so remember, look back on the emotions and feelings within your poems today as you learn and read further about autobiographical poems.